"It's not for you" is both true and insulting at the same time. People say it, "Hey, if you don't like it, maybe it's not for you." And they mean it as an insult. They mean it as in, you're not part of the cool crowd. But at the same time, it is true. Some things are just not for you. Let's talk more about it.
Hey there, this is Perch. Getting into the old topic, a favorite topic. Is this for you? I try and do my reviews that way, and it just kind of dawned on me. I've been using this, is this for me kind of mentality to do comics, but it's also used for as kind of a rebuttal when people say something negative, meaning this wasn't for you. Why are you talking about it? And I posted on Twitter about this before. I think the whole statement kind of bugs me because it feels like a very lazy rebuttal to somebody's complaint. Now, I'm not saying the complaints are all legitimate. In fact, far from it. I think if you looked at a lot of the Captain Marvel commentary that was going on Twitter at the time, but before the movie and kind of as some of the stills were coming out, a lot of that commentary was nonsense. I mean, some of it was just people making jokes and kind of look at this, and they're trashing something because it's kind of fun to trash on it. But for the people who are really serious, who are like, no, this green and gray costume makes her butt look flat and it's bad and must be destroyed. That's the kind of stuff where it's like, yeah, take a Valium, man. Just chill out a little bit. It's a Marvel movie. It's like what, number 22 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know. It's probably not that high, but it's just a movie. You'll be okay. The world will be okay. Because I think there's always this tendency with a lot of complaints, a lot of criticism, and you see it in a lot of the videos. I've tried really hard not to be this guy, to go over the top, to just do really, I can't believe this is the most terrible thing ever. That almost made popularized by by talk show hosts, and then it's funny because it was a format that Fox News really kind of hammered home in the 90s. And then, now, and I remember CNN just like, this is garbage journalism that people are talking this way. And then, very months after months of losing in the ratings, you're like, hey, yeah, I know what we're going to do. Outrage. Just funny how that stuff works. Anyway, I think a lot of the criticisms were bogus. They were stupid and they were silly, and they should be dismissed because as just kind of either a joke, or at best, or kind of ranting. But the response to something frivolous by saying, "Hey, this isn't for you," to me is like equally frivolous. It's like a dumb comment being met by a dumb answer. And you could argue that dumb comments deserve dumb answers. I mean, that's fair enough. But I think that the why this wasn't for you is such a lazy argument is that there are, it wasn't for you how. So if you're reading Cat in the Hat and you are saying this does not have enough adult themes and seriousness to it, well, you're being dumb because that book was not written to be adult themed with serious consequences. I mean, it's teaching a little morality lesson to kids in kind of a limerick way. If you're turned on the TV and you're watching Paw Patrol, which for those of you who don't know, those lucky people who don't have children and have been subjected to this kind of crap, it's a kid with dogs, and the dogs talk and they solve crimes and things, and it's designed, if you are 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, this is kind of the perfect demographic for Paw Patrol. Beyond that, it starts to like, why does this mayor have a chicken? What's going on? There's parts of it that it doesn't survive past the age of 6, and you see it in your kids. Uh, I had kids who were just riveted by Paw Patrol. They loved it. They knew the dogs' names. They loved those stories. They thought it was fascinating. And then you watch like age 5, age 6 hit, and it's like, yep, stupid. And they just the interest just wanders off, and they go to the next kind of dumb cartoon. Well, if you're a grown adult and you're saying, I'm outraged about Paw Patrol and the fact that Paw Patrol is got talking dogs and they are not dealing with the socioeconomic realities of a capitalist society, then I think you can say, hey, this product was not made for you. And I think it's an obvious statement. I think There's not a, the showrunner of Paw Patrol is not going to claim that they're looking for a, 24 to 36 HBO audience. They would not say that. They know it. And so, you can say, hey, this product was aimed specifically at, this demographic, this type of viewer, this type of watcher. And so making 1,000 videos on it is dumb. But that same kind of logic can't be applied to characters because characters are written in any different way in lots of different mediums. I use this example on Twitter. You have Batman. Well, you have Killing Joke, and that's that. If you're a kid, if you're a 6-year-old reading Killing Joke, it's probably not appropriate for you. You won't really understand what's going on. It's not for you. On the other end of the spectrum, there's Batman Goes to Bed, and it's like a little children's book about. And I haven't got the title wrong, but Batman having a dream time, happy time, and that book is aimed. I think it says on the cover from like 3 to 6. So you wouldn't review that like you're reviewing The Killing Joke. That would be crazy. But you can't turn around and say, hey, if you make a complaint like, I like Batman the Killing Joke, I don't like Batman Takes a Nap Time, whatever that stupid book is called. No, I'm not referring to the Dream Nightmares storyline by Tom King. I'm talking about an actual children's book. I think the obvious response, if you said something like that, would be, well, no, 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 duh, you're 42, and that makes sense that the kid storybook doesn't apply to you. Sure. But when you use it for things like, so Captain Marvel, and this has really been a big reply to a lot of the I hate the women's comment that you get on social media around Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel and the various kind of girl power efforts. So first off, I think that you know companies can do whatever they want. They can make a movie and they can certainly gear it toward female empowerment, and they can write the storyline that way. And there's probably a market there for that. Good on them. Go find that money. Nothing wrong with that at all. On the other end of the spectrum, though, that's not what Captain Marvel was or Wonder Woman. They're not. Those movies are not. Remember the book analogy. These movies are not aimed at young girls who want to be inspired to be superheroes. They're part of the group, but Captain Marvel is aimed at all the people who go to Marvel Universe movies, just like Black Panther was aimed at all the viewers. Black Panther was not made for African American people only. It was made to have a big story that could be enjoyed by lots of people. Because when Disney makes these films, they're aiming to make billion-dollar films. They're not aiming to make they're not saying we're going to just really target this one little specific audience and go at it. They're trying to build a much bigger tent, and that's why you will never see somebody who has their head on right from the studio from Marvel going, no, yeah, we didn't want the men to go to Captain Marvel. We just wanted the little girls who want to be inspired to be a hero to go. That's the only audience we want. That's all. Of course, they're not going to say that. You may hear goofy things, and by the way, a lot of the quotes were taken way out of context. Or there's some quote that they were saying Brie Larson was saying that she only wanted women to go to the movie. That's not what she said. That was said in jest. Like, I really hope the women go to this movie is different from saying only the women can go to this movie. I think again that's obvious, but whatever. You got to spell it out for people. But you know, if somebody is complaining about it, saying, "Well, this character is not for you," well, BS. The character is totally for you. Captain Marvel is for every single fan, girl, boy, man, woman, whatever, that goes to superhero movies where Disney is trying to make $1 billion. That's the audience. That's who it's for. So you don't say, oh, Captain Marvel's not for you. Yes, it actually is for you. It's for all these people. It's designed to be a broad, appealing property. That's what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. And on some, clearly, by the way, let's play this argument out to its conclusion. Clearly, it did appeal to the majority of the audience that they were going for because the movie made a ton of money. It's one of the top earners for Marvel. It's certainly one of the top first debut movies for Marvel in this universe. Didn't do as well as Black Panther, still did amazingly well. Any studio would die to have that kind of box office that Captain Marvel pulled in. And so that money did not magically appear from the magic fairy tree, and it wasn't the fact that they got every girls soccer team to go 18 times to the movie. It got men, women, adults, and kids into that theater, and it did it well. So if somebody online is complaining and the response is, "This wasn't for you. This is for girls who dream about being a hero." Well, number one, the whoever this girls who want to be heroes when they grow up audience is not listening to rando Twitter troll number 45 who's complaining about Captain Marvel's butt. That don't worry, the girls are safe. They're still going to be able to be inspired by Captain Marvel or not or whatever. If somebody is picking at a scene saying, "Hey, Brie Larson's coming off like a psycho here," then you just have to go agree, disagree. I don't care. Pick one of those two, and there you have it. That's all. Doesn't need to be any fancier or more complicated than that. If you want to wade into somebody's personal opinion on Captain Marvel's butt, you're wasting your time. This is as you, the defender of young girls who want to be heroes, you are wasting your time by having an argument over this silly topic that doesn't. I'll use your own logic against you. This argument isn't for you. It's not. If you love Captain Marvel, take the win. That's cool. Guess what? You're in the majority because the movie made a ton of money. So just live with that happiness, knowing you like things that are in, you're part of the popular crowd. The girls are still going to get inspired or not inspired. Maybe they're inspired by Wonder Woman. Maybe they're inspired by Terminator. Maybe they're inspired by Black Panther. Who the F knows? It doesn't matter. It's none of your business. It's not that what girls are inspired by is not for you. To put it another way, just let it go. The girls are getting inspired or not. Some people will like the movie. Most of the people will like the movie and go spend their cash on it. Some people won't. It doesn't matter. You got to start asking yourself, if you're typing right now, if you're in Twitter and you're about to type, "This wasn't for you. This was for all the young girls who dream about." If you're about to type that sentence, just stop for a moment and ask yourself, why? What what are you hoping to add to the conversation? Are you hoping a bunch of other people are going to come in going, "Yeah, yeah, that's right"? Don't worry. They're already on your side. These are all the other people who bought tickets to go see the movie. These are the people who drove the film to $1 billion. They're, you're already in the in crowd. You don't need to get more into the in crowd. You won. Success. I think that's the goofy part. And that's why the statement bothers me so much of like this isn't for you. Stop saying what things are for and what things are not for. Just people can complain or they can praise or they can do whatever the hell they want to do. And it doesn't matter. This argument does not matter. And I think that it's silly. It's Captain Marvel can be written by one author one day and she can be, you know, back in her old thong costume and prancing about and beating people up and having a good time. And then, then another writer that same month can take her and have her fighting for women's rights in some kind of foreign, terrible country. And another writer could take her and put her in like a chibi style animation and have a book aimed at 4-year olds. Whatever. All these things could happen. And all these things may happen. I don't know. Marvel's running their strategy the way they want to run it right now. And the best answer is just if you don't like that strategy, buy the books you like. And I don't mean that dismissively. I mean that for your own sanity. Buy the books you like because any character can be in any kind of story. As we're seeing right now, Tom King writes Batman one way, Tomasi writes Batman another way, the Batman Junior Adventures Zine writes him another way. In Batman Damned, we have his penis hanging out. There's lots of ways you can write Batman and lots of Batman stories. And over in Marvel, you don't have the big variety in stories. But if they want to make money and they think there's a profit in writing all these types of stories, they will. And if they don't, they won't. It's really that simple. And there you go. So, what do you think? Does this phrase bother you? That it's not for you. Yes, I know. I know it's not for me. That's probably why the person's making the complaint in the first place, because it's not for you. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting too worked up about it. It's time for a Snickers. What do you think? Leave me a comment. Let me know. And like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Make sure you're still subscribed. Tell a friend. Please tell a friend. Bring them to the party. Um, Follow me on Twitter at Comic Perch, and thanks for listening.